Hi and welcome, I'm Zare. This video is about learning the modes of 7-tone scales on a 7-string guitar and how, ironically, while having an extra string, it's much easier to learn and recall these modes on a 7-string guitar than on a 6-string. This video may help those guitar players who are more inclined towards lead playing to make a decision whether they should get a 7-string guitar. So if you are a rhythm player, you may not be that much interested, may not be convinced, but I guess if you are more the kind of a solo player, you would consider getting a 7-string guitar. And as I did in 1991, you may never want to look back once you learn how easy it is to figure out the scales, 7-tone scales on a 7-string guitar. Then there is no going back. Now, what are the requirements? Obviously, you should have a 7-string guitar, and you should be in standard tuning. Doesn't matter which standard tuning, you should be in standard tuning. And you should play these scales 3 notes per string. So what you have are shapes where you play 3 octaves, 3 notes per string, on a 7-string guitar. So you have 2 7s and 2 3s. You have 7-tone scales, 7-string guitar, 3 notes per string, 3 octaves. Of course, you don't play the last root note, that the full 3 full octaves, but then again, you play 3 octaves without changing positions. Now I'm going to tell you a story about when I was a kid. Yeah, I was a kid. Once I was a kid. I was, 4 or 5 years old. I was fascinated by music. And my head was, we had one of those record players, old style furniture record players, where my head was always inside the record player, looking at the record as it was turning. I looked at the grooves, and what I saw when it was turning, it was just like the grooves would come out of nowhere and they would disappear. They disappear and then they come back on top. And in my imagination, this was how music was produced. Of course, I knew that it wasn't the case. And when the record stopped, it was as if nothing happened. Now, why I'm telling you this story? This is because if you learn the first shape, you will see that if you want to figure out the second mode, the Dorian mode, all you have to do is take the higher 2 strings, the patterns. So this is the shape for the Ionian mode, the major scale. You look at these 2 higher strings, the patterns. They disappear into oblivion, they come back on top. You play these exact same patterns at the exact same position on 2 lower strings. From then on, you play from the 5th string on, you play the previous shape, considering the slide when you reach the 2nd string. This is the Dorian shape. Now you look at the two higher strings. Disappear, even come back on top. At the same position on the two lowest strings, which are the same, B and E. And from then on, from the fifth string on, you play the shape that you just learned, the Dorian shape. You have the Phrygian shape. Now you look at the two higher strings of the shape that you just learned, as if they disappear into the void. If we are considering the gramophone record example, you play these patterns at the same position on the two lowest strings. From then on, from the fifth string on, you play the shape that you just learned, the Phrygian shape, and you have the Lydian shape. Now, these two patterns are the two higher strings. They disappear into oblivion, come back on top. You play them at the same position at the two lowest strings, as if they come back from top, from the side of the neck facing you. From the fifth string on, you play the shape that you just learned, the Lydian shape. Considering the slide, when you reach the second string, now you have the Mixolydian shape, the fifth mode. Now you look at the patterns on the two higher strings. They fall into the void, then they come back on top. You play these at the same position on the two lowest strings. And from the fifth string on, you continue playing the shape you just learned, the Mixolydian shape. And you have the Aeolian shape, or the natural minor. Now you look at the two higher strings. These patterns, they disappear, come back on top, same position. From then on, you play the shape that you just learned, the Aeolian shape. Considering the slide at the second string, you have the Locrian shape for the Locrian mode. Now you look at the two higher strings, the patterns, they disappear into oblivion, come back on top. You're back where you started. Now, that is not the only part where magic happens. If you look at all 7 modes that you just learned, all 7 shapes, you will see the patterns are equally distributed throughout all 7 modes. You have 3 patterns of 3 notes a whole tone apart. You have 3 of these. If you look at the Mixolydian mode, this is the best example is you you have three patterns of three notes, a whole tone apart, two patterns, half tone, whole tone, and two whole tone, half tone. And this is the same across all 7 notes. As you saw in this video, 2 laws of physics that happen, namely figuring out the modes by just looking at the 2 high strings and bringing them back on 2 lower strings and playing the previous mode starting from the 5th string. You easily recall these modes, even if you have, say if you have stopped practicing them for a while, you will see that they come back easily, more easily than with the 6th string guitar. They come back more easily. And also, as you can see, for double checking it, you will see the patterns are distributed similarly across all 7 modes. Tell me if you don't think that it makes it much easier to learn and recall all the modes of a 7-tone scale on a 7-string guitar.